Hello once again, Monster Hobbies Model Car Garage Mechanics, and how are you today? Today I am going to be doing a small scale unboxing video. I don't usually do these, but I do have a little section on my YouTube channel dedicated to them. This one I'm really excited about because when I was a young kid way back in the 80s, there was actually a little drugstore out in Horseshoe Bay that I ended up finding these models, and they're really fun. These are the old Lindberg Jumpin Jean models, and here I have the thrill threads. This looks like a 32 Ford hot rod. It's a really cool kit. You can actually build these a couple of different ways. And for those that know that show rod kit that came out a little while ago from round 2, there's 2 cars included. This is another one in that set that round 2 has not released recently. But as you can see, it's cool because they have these denim stickers that go in here, like pockets on jeans. So without further ado, let's go down to the box and see what's on the bench. Now let's go back to the groovy days of hot rodding as we check out this Jumpin Jeans Thrill Threads by good old Lindberg. That's right, Lindberg, with the yellow, black, and red banner. So it says a plastic model car kit with denim-like decals. Thrill threads! And as you can see, this looks like a 34 Ford. It's got the little Chevy V8 in here and the grille shell. And the box is basically, it's the same everywhere, even on the end. Ta-da! But there is one side here that says something a little bit different. It says a plastic model car kit complete with denim-like decals. Included in kit are clear windshields, scale engines, and rolling wheels. Extra customizing parts are included for ages 7 and older, and the scale is 3/8 of an inch equal 1 foot, which I believe is 1/32 scale. Now, as you can see, this is a sealed kit, but it won't be for long. I got this from my recently departed friend, John Harries, in his estate sale after he passed away. So again, lots of fun, lots of nostalgia, and from a good old friend. Here we have the model box after I took off the shrink wrap. You can see just how clean this is now. Nice, bright, and white. And here's the actual wrap. Look at how dirty that is. All right, so what's kind of fun about this is instead of the top coming off like a normal model, like on the rest of these, it actually unpops from the end. So, and then all the parts spill out the back. So unloading out the trunk here. It's not really a trunk though. We have the nice parts molded in that really groovy yellow from Lindberg. And our instructions. You'll notice there is no chrome on this model. And then we got our decals here as well. No chrome on the model whatsoever, but that's okay. So we've got like a body shell and frame and everything here, fenders as well. Really cool top. There's a flat Model A style radiator included in here. Got our glass, instructions. Then we've got our 34 Ford radiator shell, as well as the engine and a whole bunch of tires and wheels. I think there's an extra set in here for options for your front and rear. And that's about it. Here we have page 1 of our instruction sheet. You can see how cool this is. And it says, here's the assembly plans for the Jumpin Jeans Thrill Threads. It says this 34 tub makes for a very interesting hot rod. With rod builders looking for older cars to rebuild and customize, what would stand out more than the likes of a big, long, modified 4-door convertible? Powered by a competition V8 engine, this rod would run well at the drag strip or add on loads of chrome engine parts and a custom paint job, and this tub would be a real showstopper. Now what's beautiful about this is we can use the Molotow chrome on here, as well as bare metal foil or whatever chrome choice you want, and make this thing shine like a little jewel. When we open up the instruction sheet, we see these amazing pictures of a built-up model, and we also read, before assembling model, read notes below. Note, before building your model, check the pictures in the plan sheet and decide which model you want to build. Only one model can be built using the parts in this kit. By adding or leaving parts off of your model, you can change the way your finished model will look. Note, all parts are numbered for ease of assembly. The larger parts have the numbers on them, while other small parts have the numbers on the tab or runner next to the part. To prevent loss of parts and for ease of identification, do not break any parts off of runner until ready for use. Note, parts may be painted before assembling this model. See the box cover for correct colors or paint the model any color desired. Use paints for plastic only. Then it says the same in German, French, and Spanish. So how can we build our model? Well, looking at these pictures, we see two alternatives. One is a car without a radiator, so this would be the competition one. We see a tonneau cover over here and a roll bar, so that only allows one person in the driver's seat, really. And we've got our windshield here, and there is that blower engine again. Look at the hubcaps on here are like moon discs for high speed. And then the other option is this one, which has the Roadster fenders on it, the 29 Model A grille. Now our engine has 6 two-barrel carburetors on it, and we have mag wheel in the back, as well as a big fender back here. Now, they turn the image around this way, so there's a little push bar at the back for another car, actually, to push this out onto the high-speed track, maybe even Bonneville, Salt Flats. And here we also see the little push bar. We've got our fenders off the back. We've got these headers that dump off down the side. And as you can see here, these ones collect into one pipe, but these are actually 4 off this end. Again, the choice is up to you. The choice is yours, is what I was going to say. But yeah, it's your choice. Build it how you like. The other alternative is, of course, to build it like that, which has the 34 Ford grille in here, as well as the top that's up, no fenders, and lots of fun. So how do we build this model? Well, first off, Lindberg starts you with the interior. So you have the body, the seats, the floor, the steering wheel, your dashboard, windshield frame, and the top parts. Next up, we have the chassis assembly and the engine assembly. So here we see the engine halves that are already glued together. We've got a shift lever up here, exhaust pipes, fan belt. You have your intake manifold, which also includes the cylinder heads. And then we have our valve covers going on here, as well as the tricarbs. Once you get the engine done, you can glue it into your frame. And you have a rear axle here with a torque tube as well, and a front axle. You'll note that these are the types where the wheels click in, so always make sure you have this area here nice and round, free of seam lines, so that those wheels and tires can rotate on the axle. Photograph 3 shows the body being glued together. Now this is showing the one with the 34 grille on it, and the top up, just like on the box art. So if you follow the instructions here, this is what you'll get. But remember, the images on the first page, those are what you could study and then look on the parts trees and make up yourself. So here it shows the body, the assembled body, being glued onto the frame. And basically up here, you're just adding the top and the radiator in place. You also add in your clear windshield for your glass. Image 4 shows the assembly of our wheels, and it says on the axle to add some oil on here, but you could add a little bit of Vaseline or some kind of white grease. You could also add in a little bit of graphite, and that's just so that these wheels will turn without locking up on the axle. So what we have here is the wheel hubs, which would click into place. Then you would glue your tire to the hub, and then your wheel cover, which would cover over your wheels. So once you have that all together, it should look like the car on the cover. Now let's take a look at the parts tree, and molded in a wonderful kind of cream custard color, or maybe a light banana, whatever your choice may be here. So what we have is our rear axle. This looks like an old Ford unit with the torque tube up here, probably from 1940. We have a steering wheel. We have the front fenders, that tonneau cover. There's our full frame in here, our wheel hubs. We also have one of the seats and the body all molded on this parts tree. There is a lot of flash. Flash. Anyway, there's the body. It's kind of interesting how the parts runner is right at the top here. So be very careful when you clip these out that you have them nice and flat, because otherwise you'll have holes up in here, and that's never any fun. There is some very light door panel work on here with hinges that looks really good. It's got the correct shape of the 34 Ford that kind of scooped up and swiveled around here, whatever. Off the back, looks nice and smooth. This would be a Phaeton body. Here we have our frame, and there are a couple of little U-shaped grooves in here, and that is for the axles and other various things. Tonneau cover is nice. There's actually a texture on there. You can see the fenders have been lightened up on the supports with the holes. There are some mold marks you'll have to take care of. The seat looks really nice in here. You could paint this alternating colors for a tuck and roll type pattern. Again, lots of opportunities and options for this kit in order to make it look nice and neat. But here you can see all the flash around where the wheel is going to go on, so that's where you're going to have to really clean it so that these will rotate on that axle end. But overall, I mean, for a really nostalgic kit, this thing is amazing. Here we have a few more custard parts that are really wonderful. We've got our right and left hand side engine block. And yeah, this does look like a little Chevy 289 or something to that effect. We have these bigger tires for the back. And then you also have the option of building this with 4 equal sized tires all the way around. We have the big rear fenders for these big tires to fit into. And we also have our floor pan right in here. Now some of the parts did pop off, like this one wheel. There is a seam line right up the center of this. So a little bit of sandpaper and you could get that nice and flat. The car would be running on slicks all over the place because there is no tread pattern in here. And the rear of the tire is hollow, so it doesn't have the double back molding. And there is no press-in piece that would duplicate that. There are high mold marks on the back of each wheel, so you'd have to file those flat before putting in the wheel back. But overall, I mean, what can you do for the scale? Look at the motor, has a little starter motor in here and everything. There's a gear shift lever molded in place. Really nice stuff. Lots of flash. Ah! But overall, and mold marks. Look at how high these ones are. They're popping right off of there. But it should be good. Love how they have the holes in the fender supports. Really cool stuff. And I don't know if you can see that texture on there, but there's a texture for your floor pan. Again, really cool stuff. Now here are the loose parts in the kit, the ones that kind of popped off the parts tree. And what we have is our 2-piece roof. We have the 34 style grille. We also have our firewall, and the dashboard is molded in place on the back. And we have one of these seats. So how do these look? Well, let's bring it up to the camera here. You can see the instrument panel back there. It's got 3 gauges, 1, 2, 3, as well as a glove box door and a couple little switches up top here. And there is a parts tree attachment just underneath there. So be very careful with that. I'm losing my focus here. All right. The firewall itself is smooth, and the top of the cowl actually has 2 holes, so you could mount that windshield in there. Looking at the seat, we have the same upholstery match. So again, very nice. You could paint on tuck and roll on here. There is a little bit of a mold mark right in here that's a bit of a trouble, but should be able to fix it up. There's our 34 Ford grille, looking nice and sweet. And the 2-piece roof, texture on the top, mold marks underneath. Nice fit. Here we have our next parts tree, and this would have been wonderful if they had have chrome plated this, because basically everything that would be chrome plated is right here. We have our exhaust pipes, and you got 2 different types of headers. These look like the Chevy Y type, and then you've got the swept back ones. Actually, there's 3 on here, because here's the individual pipes dumping off the sides. We have 2 mag wheels. Too bad we didn't have 4 of those. And then we've got different wheel covers. These ones seem to have some knockoffs in here with little holes. So they might be actual factory wheels, or supposed to be represented by factory wheels with knockoffs. And then these ones are smoothed over. So they're more like your Bonneville type caps. We have our 2 intake manifolds here. These 2 little guys, we'll have to see what they are on the other side. The 29 Ford radiator, valve covers, got our blower here, the little push bar at the back, belts and pulleys for the blower, and standard belts and pulleys. We've got 3 little carburetors here and 6 down here, as well as our roll bar with a lot of flash. Now, let's turn this over. Take a look at this. So this makes everything better. There's that 29 Model A radiator on here. It's actually got a nice texture in there for the scale. Now, here we have the tricarb intake manifold. It's nice and smooth. We've got the single 3-carb manifold, which has the little ports off the sides. Again, the blower looks really nice. Really cool stuff, but again, lots of flash. Flash! And some mold marks too. Got the dropped front spring axle in here, and you'll have to clean up those ends because of the flash. Okay, yeah, so take a look at those wheels. Again, really nice stuff. I like them. They should have been chromed though, but hey, if you got that Molotow chrome pen, you could easily do that up. You could also paint the headers white, which would give them that high heat white paint. Again, lots of possibilities on this. Oh yeah, what are those little things right here? Taillights. So, again, if it was chromed, would have been beautiful, but maybe that's for round 2 to do in the future. Here we have our clear components, which consist basically of our flat plane windshields, as well as a rear window for the top. These have been countersunk down in, so they will fit nice and flush up into the openings and look pretty good. Not too much more I can say about this, so I'll just put it down. Finally, we have our decals. These are actually stickers with a peel back. You can see this is a sticker sheet, nice and thick. So hopefully they will look good on the roof, but I really want to use them because of the nostalgia of this. So here you can see the nice denim pattern on here, as well as the gold or copper colored stitching and the brass buttons. So again, really cool looking stuff. You get 2 for the door, 1 for each side, 1 for the end, and then the top itself. Unfortunately, there's no license plate on here. Maybe it doesn't matter, but take a look at how cool that is. Almost looks metallic, but it's not. It would be kind of a trick to paint the car body to also look like denim and then add these on. I'm not too sure how you would do it and pull it off, but overall, I mean, this looks great. I like good old nostalgic stuff. And I'm pretty sure when I get this done, the thrill threads will look really cool. So how would you build this model? As the thrill threads as shown on the box top, or as the Bonneville Racer, or as this really cool fendered cruiser for Saturday night using the 29 Ford grille? Let me know down in the comments below, or would you just mix and match parts? I'd also like to try to get a grasp on how you would build this thing for your collection. Well, I really hope you enjoyed that look at our nostalgic Jumpin Jeans kit, the Thrill Threads from Lindberg. Now, the whole reason why I am unboxing this is because I'm actually going to enter another group build coming up on February the 1st, and that is the small scale group build, the 2025 small scale group build, hosted by the Scale Model Car Guy channel, as well as a few others that are hosting this. I think 60s Rules is also in there. But at any rate, yeah, so I want to build this little guy up for that. So watch for my upcoming build videos all through February about this model kit. Really exciting, and I hope the rest of you can join in. And hey, are you looking for model kits? Because I sell them on our website, www.monster-hobbies.ca. That's in Canada, in Alberta. The land of the oil. Anyway, so I can ship those all around the world. It's really fun. Check it out, www.monster-hobbies.ca. Look in the section on that side down there that says plastic models. You click on there and it opens it all up. We've got cars, boats, planes, sci-fi, you name it. You want it, you got it, baby. Check it out, www.monster-hobbies.ca. Like and subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell so every time I make a new video, especially on the progress of me building this, that's right, you are the first to see it. So until next time, Monster Hobbies Model Car Garage Mechanics, I'm touching the brim. That means happy model building, and we'll see you in the next video.